Hey guys, we're in Long Beach, California at the Impressions Expo, and with me is Zach from M&R, and we have a new Quattro.
We do. Yeah, a little bit of a surprise for you.
Yep.
We decided to bring this and didn't say a lot about it because I love seeing customer and colleague reactions in person. So this is the 6.8. That's a 6-head, 8-color machine. So originally our 4.4 is a CMYK plus white platform. This is your white platform the same, 2-head CMYK the same, and then you'll see red, green, orange violet.
And it's funny that, again, everybody seems to be doing more colors. I find it interesting, the word violet thrown in there.
Yeah.
Because that's not what most are doing. Talk to us a little bit why violet was the decision.
Yeah, violet's not that different from the people running blues and some of those hues. They're a little bit cooler than the violet, but honestly, we work really closely with our chemistry partner, NASDAR, and they had a color set. They had multiple color sets for us to look at and test and approve. And the violet, especially for people who are in the athletic space, red, spot color for athletics.
Scarlet and gray.
Orange,
Yep.
green, and then that violet color is something that is really difficult to hit.
It is. I mean, we struggle to hit the Deco blue just using CMYK because it's like that cyan. You would think like it's practically cyan.
Yeah.
Why is it so hard to hit that color?
Yeah.
And then I've always struggled with those light pinks, light magentas. It really started back when I did DTG. I mean, that has been my nemesis with CMYK for the longest time.
Yeah, I think the color gamut's really interesting because we're taking it and we're expanding it. Now, people have a misconception or a little bit of an aversion because they sit on one side or the other saying, does 8 colors really give me an expanded gamut? Yes, but 4 plus 4, we're not doubling the gamut here, right? We got to be clear about that.
Yeah.
And that's what everybody needs to understand is we're taking a color gamut that has difficult areas that it can't get to, and we're starting to round those areas out and fill them with these spot colors. And so what this machine does is it takes those branded, those athletic, those licensed colors that are built around those red, green, orange, and violet, and essentially uses them as a spot color to enhance it, and then uses the other 7 colors on top of it to add some value to that. And I think there's an example over here, if you don't mind walking over.
Yeah.
I want to show you something. So there's a traditional 4-color profile in the back and an 8-color profile in the front. And so you look around the red, the green, the orange, and the violet, you see a big jump. Now, let's focus on the orange. I could take this orange, I could probably boost the saturation, I could get a little closer to what we're getting out of the 8-color, but this is where it really becomes important. If you look close at this orange, you'll see how grainy it is to get an orange like that out of CMYK. Not because it's printing inherently different than the 8-color machine, because we're using the same print heads, we're driving the same, we're using the same drop size ratios. But what happens is I'm starting with a spot orange here and enhancing it instead of trying to mix CMYK and white behind it. And you get this grainy feel, right? You get that in your teals, you get that in your purples, you get that in your warm and your cool grays. And so what the 8-color does is it not only enhances that color gamut, but it cleans all your color up.
This is the most ingenious thing. I've not seen anybody do this. And Colin, Deco Blue. This is us struggling.
Yeah.
Anything we get printed by somebody that like a sign,
Yeah.
and they use it CMYK, they struggle. But then you see that violet, it's like that is the blue.
That's right.
We have continuously struggled. And
I think we need to get
that's
you
why it's all white. Even the embroidery can be hard to find.
I think
that
we
color.
need to get you an 8-color machine.
Yeah. Well, and then I also, if I'm going that route, I need to automate.
Okay.
Because it's all about automation
It is.
these days.
It is.
And yeah, you guys are pushing it.
So taking the Quattro and making it what we wanted it to be with this new generation, right? Making it more reliable, more dependable, more robust. What we're looking at now is the rest of the ecosystem. How do I continue to support customers in the rest of the ecosystem? And so what we're doing right here is we're adding automation in cutting in 2 different ways. Well, I'll show you the X cutter in a second. This is the XY. Flatbed, XY cutter, integration with Caldera, our software partner, so that we can read the QR codes. There's a camera system here that reads the QR codes, reads its position, and then has a cut file tied in through the RIP. And so you process it through Prime Center,
Wow.
You process it through the RIP, you put it here, it knows exactly where to cut, it indexes, it cuts, indexes the waste off.
That is so much. Again, it's the it's not just the speed, it's the fact that you're eliminating the least fun things to do. I mean, like cutting, I feel like we joke we're in kindergarten again every day. And just being able to automate that. So how many square feet can we print here an hour?
So we're running, what I like to talk about is linear feet because people want to know how fast it comes out. 60 linear feet per hour. This is what our normal 4-head machine runs. When we started to design the A, we could have designed it as a 4-head. We could have designed it as a 5-head. What happens is you lose speed. And we've got customers who have an expectation of 60 linear feet per hour. So I wanted to translate that over here. So we've done a 6-head design so you don't lose any speed. All you're doing is going bigger on your color gamut. And when you talk about those not fun things to do, that's where I want to talk about the X cutter real quick. So if we come over here, excuse me fellas, we're gonna look at this real quick. So in Caldera, we're adding this black bar that you'll see through the middle. This is an X cutter. It's a single axis cutter, and all it's doing is slicing the material. This is set up as a one-piece flow. So over here, you saw the XY cutter. That's for efficiency in small designs, left chest, nesting, material efficiency. Over here, this is set up as one-piece flow. So if I'm a made-to-order business, I get an order in, I want to get it out as quick as possible. I don't want somebody standing here, and I don't want to pay somebody standing here to cut stuff out and then try and line it back up perfectly. What I want to do is I want it to come through. I want it to cut off. Now I've got my exact drop on the top. I've got one piece. I'm okay with consuming a little bit more material here in order to get rid of the manual labor. And so I put that down and I go, it's out of my building. And the way this works is through Caldera, we have it printing a black bar with no white on the back. This machine reads that with a sensor in the middle as non-image area. Once it reads that, it cuts before it, it cuts after it, it drops the black bar in the maintenance tray, and then you have a clean transfer out the back.
Zach, I always joke that your equipment needs to look sexy if somebody's going to be standing next. This is a sleek looking DTF setup. I mean, it's, you guys have really, this space in our industry, it's crazy the speed that we are changing and adapting. And there are people out there that are concerned about buying something and then they figure out that, oh, wait, if I waited 2 weeks and went to Long Beach, this would exist. Just curious, is this possible to be converted to a expanded color, or is this still meant to be a CMYK unit?
So the head plate is built in here, so your 4 can't go to a 6, your 6 could go to a 4. You know, if you wanted to use that with only 4 heads, we could do that, but you can't, you'd have to build a new head plate. But here's the thing, time maybe is the barrier to entry, right? I'm sitting on my hands, I'm waiting for the next best thing. There's always going to be another.
Yeah, exactly.
There's always another iPhone, right? There's 16, 17, 18. If you wait, you will get something that's different. But we've built machines that we believe in and we believe will stand the test of time. We will continue to innovate, always. We will put more things out, always. But once you're part of the M&R family and once you're part of this world, converting from this to what the next generation is, it's not hard for you. The language is here, right? So if you really want to be on the front end of things, you have to take that step and invest, right? We're not going to hold anything back. We're not going to try and surprise people and say, oh, you just bought one, I've got a new one, buy the new one. We're trying to innovate in order to support customers and keep giving them what's next and be on the front of innovation.
Well, even something like this was not available day one that this came out.
Right.
Doesn't mean I can't make this investment.
That's right.
Upgrade my rip and so forth, and I'm just as efficient. So, yeah, I love it when a company doesn't push their customers to have to buy something. I remember I bought my first DTG 15 years ago, and then quickly after the next machine came out, and they just kept jacking up my ink because they're trying to make me buy that unit, and I would never buy another machine from them again because I didn't get treated, I feel, the right way there. You shouldn't, hurt your old customers. But again, M&R, I've only heard phenomenal things. Everybody's extremely prideful to call themselves an M&R shop. That's what that's the saying. We're an M&R shop. And I've never heard any other equipment. We're this shop.
Right.
No, we're an M&R.
And we love that. That means a lot to us because we're really investing ourselves in these machines. The engineering team works countless hours trying to bring something that they believe in. It's not about pushing something out into the market. It's about releasing something that we truly feel like brings value to the customer.
Well, Zach, where can our viewers go to learn more about these really cool 2 Quattro printer setups.
Yeah, everything that you see here, all the information will be on mrprint.com, and you can get a hold of your local salesperson. You can get a hold of the product team. You can come see us here. We are in Roselle, just outside Chicago, Illinois, with our factory and our facility. Come see us.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Zach. Had a lot of fun. Guys, check out M&R's Quattro line of DTF printers and their automation cutters, as you can take your DTF game to the next level.